Of course, there's a risk, right? If you go back to L1 and get congestion again, all of a sudden it's $5, $10, $20 to transact. That's going to be problematic. So you need it.
Actually, gas fees on Ethereum are at basically a historical low.
Yeah.
And like it's really cheap to transact right now with Ethereum Mainnet. Which would that not imply that the problem is not a supply problem, but a demand problem? And that Ethereum has lost a bunch of the demand. So scaling supply, why is that the right answer?
Well, I think L1...
Just to context that is just from the last 4 weeks. So if you're expecting a company just pop up and things...
No, but it is a trend, right? It's
yes.
been a long-standing trend for a year or whatever, right? Like, I mean, I remember sub 1 Gwei, in 2016 and being like...
Before NFTs.
Before NFTs, right? And I would have bet, I don't know, millions of dollars, right, in 2021 that you would never get back sub 1, right? So it is, for me, as a long-time builder on Ethereum, pretty astounding, the situation that we're in. And I think that is representative of all of the activity went off to L2s, and we did scale block space by allowing block space to increase and getting more efficiency in the L2s. And that has created an opportunity, I think, for projects to come back to L1. Of course, there's a risk, right? If you go back to L1 and we get congestion again, and all of a sudden it's $5, $10, $20 to transact, that's going to be problematic. So you need a hedge. But I think the first movers to come back to L1, of which Synthetix is one, we've got in our roadmap now moving back to L1, and we were the first people to go to OP. So directionally, it's really the momentum shifted.
So the plan is for Synthetix to come back to L1?
Yeah.
When?
ASAP.
ASAP?
Yeah, we're going to launch
You're like, it's long-term, this is a safe move for us.
Well, so this is the funny thing, right? Like, we went to OP because you couldn't do perps on L1 back in 2020. 2019, 2020.
Because of latency or because of cost?
Latency and cost and everything, and now the technology's gotten much better and you can do perps on L1, and no one's tried it. And so,
you have a possible, you have a pretty high probability that it's going to get cheaper over time, given
yes.
what we know, which
exactly.
is a fair directional bet you can take.
Exactly. So, and realistically with perps, you obviously want cheap transactions, but even if they're $1, on notional $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 trades, $1 is fine. You can factor that into the spreads and overall fees. So yeah, we're like, let's go back to L1. 5 years later.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Come back.
That's very bullish.